Okay, guys, once again, welcome to the Q&A session. My name is Eric Irby. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by. We were supposed to do this webinar on Thursday, but Thursday, of course, was a holiday, so we're going to do it tonight. So I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and appreciate everything. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight is a Q&A session. Um, our previous sessions were basically just the Mental Wealth Foundation, and we also did a little bit on SafeSwap. So tonight is basically we're just going to leave it open for you guys. If you have any questions, anything that I can kind of answer to help you grow your business. And if I don't have the information, guess what? We'll point you in the right direction. So we're going to be a little more interactive tonight. I know on a lot of my webinars, I just kind of ramble and just keep going. So tonight we'll have a little bit of fun with you guys. All right. So if we can get some questions, if you could just type them in the Dagans Facebook group here. Also, for some of you, maybe you don't have access to the Facebook group. If you want to just go to the GoToWebinar panel, type in the question box. Yours is going to look a little different than mine, but I know most of you guys are familiar with GoToWebinar platform. But for those that aren't, just you have a little question box that you can undock here, and you can just type in a question. So if you don't have access to the Facebook group, then you can go through the question box on the control panel. Other than that, we'll get some questions going here. All right, guys, this is the format where if you're struggling in your business, some of you are just getting started, some of you've been around for a while, and um, there's some things that maybe we went over in the last webinar on safe swaps. Also, some of the things that we went over in the first webinar on Mental Wealth Foundation. I believe that's very, very important. It gives you a track to run on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And if your mindset is not correct and it's not on point every day, we have a tendency to kind of veer off there and get distracted and losing the momentum in our business. So let's get some questions going here. I know you have some questions, Kathy. Let's see here. Anything you guys want me to go over tonight? All right, here we go. We got a question now from Rick. A question about SafeSwap. My list is in GVO. How do I verify my list in SafeSwaps? Can I do that? The question is no, Rick, not in SafeSwap. Get response, Aweber, yes, it is compatible with SafeSwaps and you can verify, but GVO, no. So your GVO list it'll come up as unverified. Okay, so it won't show up. Like as an example, this is my account here, and if I'm gonna go over to my dashboard, and in my dashboard you're going to see my list that's verified here. Now I have a list in GVO as well, but it's not going to show up in SafeSwap as verified because for some reason they're not compatible with GVO. So unfortunately, you won't be able to verify your list with SafeSwaps, but with Aweber and GetResponse, absolutely yes. Okay, good question. All right, let's see if we have any other questions here. Agent. All right, only one question so far. You guys must have a booming list publishing business already. You guys have no questions about anything. That's awesome. All right, here we go. All right. Wow, I only have a list of 200 in Get Response. Is there any way to get my list from GVO duplicated into Get Response? Not into Get Response. I mean, to be able to duplicate it in Get Response, um, each one of those subscribers would have to confirm an email that would be sent out by Get Response. So that's probably not going to happen. You'll lose quite a bit of your list if you try to do it that way. Of course, there's other autoresponders where you can um, upload your lists. But Get Response, Aweber, unfortunately, you can do it, but they're going to have to confirm, and and you'll lose quite a bit of your list. I would love to do that because I like GVO, but Aweber and Get Response to me have a better delivery rate. So if I could take my list from GVO and and upload it to Get Response or Aweber, I would love to do that. All right, I think Tan has a question here. Good question, Tan. Tan says, are the leads, list, and safe swaps purely consist of internet marketing niche? A majority of them are internet marketing niche, but there is some guys on there that kind of sell different, different niches that you could purchase lists from. But the majority of them are internet network marketing, home-based business type of list. But occasionally I'll see guys on there sell lists from the dating niche. Um, or the great thing about safe swaps is that there's so many solo sellers on there. They can point you in the right direction to be able to find many different solo sellers in these different niches. So hopefully that answered that for you, Tan. Benson, could I share my landing page and sales funnel with you? Sure. You're welcome, Tan. Um, let's see here. I got several of them. Which one do I want to do? Let's see. This is one of them. This is one of my sales funnels right here. Um, this is my easy money method sales funnel here. This is my squeeze page. Just simple, to the point. This one pulls very, very well for me. And because I do a lot of CPL, which is cost per lead, I always have a thank you page. That way they can kind of track the click throughs. And then this thank you page here just takes them over to the free video. So it's, simple and easy.
Welcome to this page. I have an incredible offer
Turn
at the end
that
of this
off.
very short video that you will only see once. So drop everything and pay close attention.
So it's a simple, very easy sales funnel, and I pull hundreds of leads a day, with this particular sales funnel. It's nothing really difficult about this stuff. You can learn this stuff easily. Like when I first came on the internet, I thought, I had to be this master copywriter and had to come up with all these, very unique sales funnels. But, if you got a good video on the back end, you got a good offer on the back end, the actual squeeze pages are, very simple. And then if you're doing any type of CPL marketing, a simple thank you page. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and you can do that with any really good offer on the back. You could do that with Empower Network. You could do that with .com secrets. I mean, there's so many offers out there that that convert very well, and you can just kind of customize it to yourself and generate leads all day long. Now, with that list of with the with a list of 200, I mean, I started out with about 1,000 leads initially in my GVO autoresponder, but I was aggressively swapping, so you could grow that list pretty fast. If I don't know what you're doing right now, Rick, as far as over at Safe Swaps, but you could get going and start to grow that list pretty fast. You can get to 1,000 leads in no time if you swap twice a day and you start buying some solos. That's what I did initially, and I grew from about a list of about 1,000. Plus, I had the list publishing stuff, but I really didn't count that. The co-reg stuff that we do with Dagan, I really didn't count that because I wanted to generate some leads outside of that. Um, and I was able to grow that from about 1,000 to 4 or 5,000 within a couple months. So, just with kind of swapping over there at Safe Swap and buying a few solos. So, don't look down on that 200 because you can grow that and get it going pretty fast if you consistently. But I was consistent with it. I was swapping twice every day, um, and that was outside of anything that I did with LPP. If, good question. Rick's question. Here comes the burning question. If I work with my unverified list over at GVO and Safe Swaps, will people want to do ad swaps with me? Absolutely, because we all start out somewhere. There's people over at Safe Swaps with, they're just getting started. Every single day, they have nobody on their list. They have absolutely zero. I mean, a lot of the buyers that come to me and buy at Safe Swaps, they don't have a list at all. So there's people on there. If you go over and you start to do a search, okay, you see right here under the search menu, you see ad swaps, 150, 100. So you can just click on, let's say, people that have a list of 100. Those are the people that you need to swap with right now, and you work your way up. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you're consistent with it, the key here is consistency. It's not how big your list is. It's about how consistent you are. Because everybody starts out with no list at some point. So if you keep up the consistency, and you'll see, there's people here that you can swap with. See, 94 clicks right there. And here's another thing. You see people down here with no clicks, 12 clicks. You know, I'm sure you can generate 12 clicks. There's somebody you could swap with. Um, and you just go through here and you find the people that, this guy might do a swap with you. You never know. Um, he's delivering 53 clicks. People will, people sometimes will swap with people that have smaller lists. I've swapped with people when I had 1,000. I swapped with people that had lists of 15,000. It just depends on, you know, um, how aggressive you are. If you're out there and you got to go through the numbers. Just don't depend on one or two people. Don't try to book a swap with one or two people. Do a bunch. If you go after like 10 people a day, you're gonna get two or three of those people to say yes to you. So that's exactly what you need to do. You just need to go through the numbers. If you go through the numbers, you will come upon people with bigger lists that will say yes to you. And swapping is not always the best. I mean, you're going to run into situations where you're either you're going to deliver more clicks or they're going to deliver more clicks. The great thing about safe swaps, you can kind of even that out. Like if someone sends me like a 20 or 25 or 100 or 50 more clicks than I sent, just let them know, hey, I'll make it up to you. I'll send this back out to my list. You want to communicate with people, and you want to be fair. You don't want somebody to send you 50 more clicks or 25 more clicks than you, and you just say, okay, thanks. No, you say, hey, I'll make it up to you. I'll match your clicks. So if you communicate with people and you're aggressive and you go through the numbers, because there's a ton of people on here to swap with. You just have to go through the numbers. A lot of people will turn you down. They'll be like, well, your list is too small. Some people will have it blocked. But you just got to go through that initial process, until you get to the point where, you really just don't have to even swap anymore. Like, I very rarely swap. I know some people, like to swap, and that's part of their kind of their business model. But I just found that once I could get to the point where I could get away from the swapping, that the paid advertisement worked better for me. It was just a lot faster. I didn't have to worry about matching clicks. But certain marketers out there, if they ask me to, you know, if Lewis or TK or Amber or one of them, or Kristen or somebody like that, or somebody else from LPP that have a nice list and they wanted to swap, of course I'll swap with them. But generally, you'll kind of move past that. But there's tons of people on Safe Swap to start out with. That's why I like it, because you don't really have to go anywhere. You don't have to go inside of Skype rooms, and it's just one place that you can focus. And that's one of the things that you have to do when you're starting out is, okay, am I going to be good at the Warrior Forum? Am I going to be good at Safe Swaps? Am I going to be good at Skype? You know, am I going to be good on Facebook? But you can't be good at all of them at the same time. You got to find one, or maybe two is a stretch. For me, I had to find one place where I could just focus. And for me, that was Safe Swaps. Is kind of just build my foundation there. Took a little bit of time, but next thing you know, you start to create momentum. You get the reputation. Reputation leads to more sales. More sales lead to bigger business. Leads to a website. Leads to just great things. So, all right. I know exactly where you're at, Rick. So, don't let the small list just get you down. I mean, everybody starts there. Can we have permission to drop your name when we're doing safe swaps? As far as what do you mean, Vincent? You're talking about like to a solo, when you're doing ad swaps, or um, just give me a little bit more information on that question there. You're welcome, Rick. Not a problem. If you can explain a little bit more, I'll answer that for you, Vincent. All right. Sorry, Kathy. Eric, you have a very receptive list. I am not sure if you addressed it before, but can you tell me more? How much time did you spend on building it every day? Was it done primarily with SafeSwap and or solo ads? I know now on purchasing solos that would suggest of numbers to add every day to build it quickly. Great question. Initially, when I started out with LPP, back in August of last year, like I said, I had a list of 1,000 already, but I really wasn't counting that towards my list publishing business because that was something that I kind of brought to the table prior. And then I had another 2,000 plus list, but that was strictly, I wasn't going to use that for LPP because that was some things I had through direct mail and a few relationships I had online, with different groups. So I didn't want to really touch that list for list publishing. So I started out basically with 1,000 that I could use. I swapped every day, um, twice a day, and I didn't spend a lot of time on this stuff. I mean, I would say initially probably to find people to swap with. I did do a little bit in the LPP group, but I moved out of the group pretty fast after my first month and started strictly on SafeSwap. So I would say probably around 30 to 45 minutes a day initially. Okay. My first 2 months, I didn't really buy any solos. I just swapped. Okay. I swapped twice a day. That's all I did. Then by month two, I really started to, well, the end of month two, going into month three, I started to buy solos. And I was pretty much buying a solo, if not every day, every other day. Um, I purchased a lot on SafeSwap, and there's some hit and misses there, just like with any other, um, solo buyers out there. There's some lists that's good and some lists that aren't good. But so I purchased a lot on SafeSwaps, and then of course some vendors outside of SafeSwaps. I purchased a lot of clicks. So I would say, on average, for me, it was a half hour to an hour a day. When I talked to Dagan a couple months ago, I think I was like only working my business like an hour a day because I have another offline business that was just taking a lot of my time. Plus, I'm a family man and, I got to do the family stuff as well. So, um, that's why I was attracted to the list publishing business because it's not one of those models that's very time consuming. And I don't want to be sitting at the computer 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. That gets old after a while. So um, I'm probably one of those people that could, if I put more time in it, of course I could have probably a much bigger business. But I've been able to grow my business, pretty good. My list is over 50,000 now. Probably going to do somewhere around $10, $11,000 this month, and you're only looking at 10 minutes and 10 minutes, 10 months into the business, and an hour, probably around an hour a day. So to me, that's a great business model. And then you build up your reputation out there, and next thing you know, you have customers coming to you. You're not constantly totally out there chasing customers. So, and then you have LPP that'll buy solos from you, and then you find other sources, and Warrior Forum, Safe Swaps, Skype Room. There's all kinds of ways to sell your clicks. So this is not a model that requires a lot of your time. And I know Lewis. Lewis is a franchise owner, so he doesn't have a lot of time to put in his business. Um, if you get the software that allows you to, because that was my big problem early on when I came online, was the technical aspect of it. I just hated building websites, and it just really I just really would go crazy and pull my hair out trying to build websites and dealing with FTPs and all that stuff. So to be able to have software where you can build pages like in no time and drag and drop and all of this kind of stuff is right up my alley. And so even with me building out a quick funnel, it might take me 10-15 minutes max to build a squeeze page and a thank you page. And I find a good offer out there that's converting well, and 10-15 minutes to build out a funnel. And you know I either buy solos right now, or I do CPL, and I'm getting ready to start to do some pay-per-view as well. And it just kind of expand out from there as far as more different sources of places to generate traffic. But those are my two primaries right now, is buying solo ads and CPL. So doesn't take a lot of time at all. So let me make sure I answer this entire. Yes, solo ads along with your swapping. Um, Solo ads will take your business to that next. If you're able to buy solo ads on a consistent basis, it will take your business to that next level. Um, because the foundation is swapping. Okay, that's tier one, is the swapping twice a day. Tier two is maybe a little bit of swapping, maybe one swap a day, maybe selling a solo and buying a solo. Okay, um, and then like tier three would be CPL. That's like what I'm doing right now, where you can buy leads for let's say $1.50 or $2 per lead, and they'll send you as many leads as you possibly can pay for on a daily basis. So then you have that constant lead flow, and that's when your list just grows like crazy. But you work your way up to that. There's different levels. And if you just, a lot of people get stressed out because they want to hop to that level that they see another person at, instead of saying, okay, let me just do the fundamentals. Let me swap twice a day, be consistent with it, figure that out, at least where it's working for me, because you're going to have some swaps, like I said, that's going to miss. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens to everyone. Just like buying solos, you're going to have some of those that don't work as good as others. But if you can get to that point where you're buying, because, I like free advertisement and I like free leads, but to me, the fastest way, and if you talk to Dagan, one of the fastest ways is to be able to do the paid stuff, where you can get stuff going even faster. So once you can get to that point where you can buy solos consistently, your business is going to go to that next level. And then you're going to be able to sell more, because you're going to have more, you're going to be able to generate more clicks. Because the name of the game is no different than any other model, really, from the standpoint of building your list. Okay, whether you're selling a info product, or you're selling some physical product, or you're with a network marketing company, you got to generate leads. Same thing with list publishing. got to generate leads on a daily basis, because those leads are basically your clicks. So the more you can generate, the bigger your list is, more clicks you can generate. And that's the business we're in. We're in the business of selling clicks. So bigger the list, and the faster you can get to buying. And like I said, some people come in at different levels. Some people come in where they have more money to put into this. They have a bigger budget. So, if somebody comes in and they got 20, 30, 40, 50 grand to put in this thing right away, they're going to grow faster than the person that might only have a thousand or 2,000 or 5,000 budget. So we don't all start out at the same place. But even if you have money, you still need to get the basics down, because if you get the basics down and you work your way up, you won't wind up wasting a lot of money. You'll figure some things out at the lower levels, and then when it comes time and you get to that point where you really need to ramp it up, you'll know what to do, and the money will be there, and you'll be able to just take your business to that next level. Alright, let's get some more in here. Hopefully that answered that for you, Kathy. I know that was kind of maybe the long version there. Okay. Agnes, okay. Eric, when I do an ad swap with a partner, okay, must my email swipe be seen by the recipient as a message from my partner rather than from me? Whoever's list that it's going to be sent out to, that person's name needs to be on the actual swipe. Okay? So as an example, if you were doing an ad swap with me and I had your swipe, my name needs to be on that swipe because I'm sending it out to my list. Just like your name would need to be on the swipe that I sent to you because you're sending it out to your list. Okay? So whoever's list is going out to, that person's name, I shouldn't say it needs to be on there, but if because some list publishers, they don't even put names on it, so it just depends. I always put a name on my swipe, but some list publishers don't put a name on it. But if you're going to put a name on it, it needs to just be that person's list that it's going out to. All right. Let's see here. All right, folks, we got about 20 minutes here. Let's see if we can get in some more cool information here, cool questions, and try not to keep you too long tonight. Kathy, great information. Eric, thank you. You're gonna grow your business, Kathy, because you're determined. You just got to get the basics down of what you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis. That's why in that first presentation I talked about the Mental Wealth Foundation, and sometimes people kind of blow that off because they want to get to the how-tos. But the Mental Wealth Foundation, for me, it keeps me on track. Because if you're not on track on a daily basis and you're not doing something every single day and you start to lose focus, then it doesn't, none of this other stuff even matters, because you're not going to be swiping twice a day. You're not going to be buying a solo on a regular basis, if not every day, because you're going to be off track. You're not going to be focused on your business. And even when you don't see the success, when you have days where, let's say you do a couple swaps and they don't go well, I've had those, and you just really don't generate any leads that day. Well, that can kind of be depressing if you're just getting started. But if you're on track and you're focused and you understand that it's about the activity, it's not just about um, I got to make money today. I need to make money today. The activity will eventually bring the money. If you just focus on that, then it will work out for you. But if your mindset is not right and you're totally focused on money, well, what happens the days you don't make money? You just fall off and you don't do nothing for another, you know, week or 2 or 3 weeks, and then you have a little success and then you have a down day and then you come back 2 or 3 weeks later. It's never going to grow that way. But if you just say, okay, every day, I'm going to take a half hour, 45 minutes, I'm going to do two swaps, rather it's on safe swaps. Safe swaps, I'm just going to use safe swaps tonight because we did the last presentation on that, but you can get swaps from anywhere. But let's say I'm going to do two swaps on safe swaps, and I'm going to do that, every single day for the next, 30 days. And then you just focus on that. And then you say, okay, now I've got that down. Now I'm going to add in a solo as well, And then once my list gets to the point where it's at 100 clicks, now I'm going to start selling on safe swaps. And you just kind of focus on that. Next thing you know, you start building some momentum. Now, you can do that anywhere. You can do that Warrior Forum, you can do that Skype room, you can do that anywhere. But like I said before, for me, because I had limited time, I couldn't figure out 4 or 5 different platforms to be able to try to sell solo ads. I had to find one place that I could master, I could get comfortable with, I could build my reputation, I can do a lot of things. That's why I like SafeSwap, because you can do a lot of things all under one roof. I can do my swaps, I can sell, I can build reputation, I can post in forums, I can do all of this stuff all in one place. And it's managed for me. Got a calendar there, so that's going to really help you, Kathy. You just got to be focused on what do I need to do on a daily basis, and you need to do that. Even if it's only a half hour, 45 minutes, And the thing is, with safe swaps, you can set up multiple ad swaps for the week. I used to do that as well. Like maybe on a Sunday, I sat down. If I had a couple hours, I'd sit down for a couple hours and I'd get a bunch of them lined up. I might get 7 swaps lined up for the week. So then when I come back on Monday and I had some things to do, I wouldn't have to do any swaps because I already had some swaps lined up. I'd look for some solo ad sellers that I could buy solos from. Okay? And then that's when you really start to, grow and take your business to that next level. But, just understand that there's levels to this stuff. Okay? And if you're at the bottom rung right now, that's okay. It's like, how do I get to that next level? And that's all I was focused on. I wasn't focused on the $10,000 a month or the $20,000 a month. I was focused on the activity to get me to the point where I could produce 100 clicks. Period. And once you get to 100 clicks, I mean, that's now you're selling. Now you're in the game. Okay? Once you get to that 100 clicks, you're in the game. Okay? And if you can get to 100 clicks, you can get to 200, you can get to 300, you can get to 500, you can get to 1,000, because it's just about compounding from there. Okay? All right, I think we had a couple more questions come in. Let's see. I have one from Ray here. Sending more clicks to me than expected. I should make it up to them by sending them more clicks. But if my list is not big, how do I compensate for such scenarios? Um, Good question, Ray. And here's what you focus on. Don't focus on your list not being big, okay? Because understand, if you're generating a lead every single day, your list is growing, okay? Even if it's growing at a slow pace, okay? So focus on the activity to grow your list every day, okay? You're going to be swapping with people that have a similar size list, okay? So it's not like, you know, occasionally you might be able to jump up there and you use a guy with a 15,000 person list might swap with you, okay? And when I say making it up to that person, I'm just saying it might not be all at one time, but just say, hey, I'm going to send you some clicks. Eventually I'll make those clicks up to you. It doesn't all have to be in one day or 2 days or 5 days. It's just over time. It's just like saying, hey, I appreciate it. I'm not taking advantage of you. Because remember, at the end of the day, you're trying to build relationships out here. Relationships will take you a lot further than, you getting some clicks. Okay? Or even money for that matter. Okay? So understand that. You don't know who's going to become who in this industry. You know what I mean? I mean, people come out of nowhere. They one month they don't have a list. You see them a year from now. Next thing you know, they got a huge monster list and they're all over the internet. So, always maintain those relationships, and what that's all about is just like, hey, I will take care of you, when I can. Even if you're only sending them 2 clicks a day or 5 clicks extra a day or whenever you can. Okay? So don't worry about your lists being small. Okay? Because if you're doing the activities, your list will grow. Okay? It will grow. If you're doing 2 ad swaps a day, it works. I mean, we prove it. That was the blueprint that they gave us initially starting out with list publishing profits. When we started out the first initial group back in August of last year, I just followed those steps. I'm not telling you anything like this is a secret. This is what they told us. They said, hey, swap twice a day and then start buying solos. And once you get to 100 clicks, sell solos. And that's what I did. That's what I did. So if you follow that advice, you do the activity, your list will grow. It's going to grow. It's no doubt. It will grow, and it grows slow at first, but then it picks up that momentum. And then next thing you know, on safe swaps, once you start to get that, remember I showed you this last week. Once you start to build up a reputation, let me go over here to the dashboard. You start to move up in the search menu because of these points that you get. Okay? So, over here, as an example, the more points you get, when people go to search for swap partners, the higher in rank you're going to get on a page. It's just like Google. The higher you are rank wise on a page, the more people are going to see you and the more people that will swap with you. Okay? See, all these people started back here, page 4, page 5. But because they started to be aggressive and started to do a lot of swaps, and you see a lot of these people, they have a ton of swaps. This person here, over 561 swaps, 601 swaps. They've been aggressive here. Okay? But everybody starts at the bottom. And here's another thing. Not only will it help you if you come over here in say swaps and you become aggressive, uh, you will start to show up in the recent events as well. Because every time you accept the ad swap, you request the ad swap, you post a message in the forum, you're going to show up here in recent events, and people see that and they click on your profile. Okay, so that's going to generate you business as well, as far as ad swaps go. And even, once you graduate and you start selling solos, that's going to help you as well. But I would not jump to selling solos on here. Some people say 50 clicks, but I would at least, do 100. Some people say 200 clicks, but I started selling when I was at 100 because I was kind of conservative, which means I sold a lot of 50 clicks. Okay, I didn't sell a lot of 100 clicks initially. That way I knew I could deliver. I could deliver in a timely fashion. I could get, the whole basics down of selling solos and how it worked. Because you got to get those fundamentals down. Once you got the basics down and the fundamentals, it's just like playing basketball or baseball or something. Once you know how to dribble a ball, and then you get really good with it, then next thing you know, you can start putting it between your legs and behind your back, and then you could start dribbling fast with the ball and, stopping and shooting the ball, and you can do all kinds of things. Okay, it's the same thing with this type of business. Once you get the basics down, then you can take it to that next level and you can do all the advanced cool stuff and expand your business all over the place, and really works well. So let's go back. We got a few more minutes here, probably around 8 minutes here. Let's see if we can get a couple more questions and then we'll kind of close this thing down for the night. Okay, great, Kathy. But just understand of taking it all in. The next part of taking it all in is what's my next step? Okay? Even if you're not going to sell right now, just forget all about selling. Just do your 2 swaps a day. You want to grow your list? Just do your 2 swaps. Um, if you're past that point, if you're at 100 clicks or 50 clicks, you need to buy solos consistently. Okay? And I think you're pretty much past maybe just doing just the swaps, because I think you're already selling some stuff. Matter of fact, I know you're selling solos already. So your whole thing right now is just solos. Then you need to get some solos going on a consistent basis. What I started out after I started doing the swaps and I kind of graduated to buying solos, I was buying 100 clicks a day. Then I went to 200. And then I started buying 500, and as my list started growing and I was able to deliver more clicks, and I would take all the money that I made once I got to the 100 clicks and I started selling solos. 100% of that went right back into my business. Okay. Um, I didn't take any of that money out to do anything with and, live off of or do any of that stuff. It was strictly 100% back into buying solos. It's that building phase that Carlos and Imka talk about. So you got to consider, and even right now, I'm not living off of my solo business right now. You know what I mean? I want to just keep growing it. So, I talked about in the first presentation that 12 to 18 months. So even if it took me, let's say 18 months to build an asset that's, doing $15,000 to $20,000 a month, I mean that's fantastic. And you're not really, you're not busting your butt to do that. I know guys with franchises and all kinds of businesses, traditional businesses that bust their butt, and they got all kinds of employee headaches and all kinds of problems, and you know, and some of them don't make 15, 20,000 a month. Off a business like this, and there's just so many other things that you can do, creative things that you can do with this. So, um, you just got to figure out, okay, where is my business at right now, um, and what do I need to do next? Okay, and I think you're right at that phase where you just need to buy solos. You need to consistently, you need to do everything you possibly can to get your list growing, um, faster, I should say, because the swaps will help your list grow. But if you can buy the solos, even if it's 50 clicks a day or whatever, um, you need to get your list of solo buyers out there. We got some good ones right here in LPP. There's some other good ones out there, I can recommend to you that have really good lists, and get you a list of 30, 35, 40 solo ad sellers, and just go for it. Okay, here's another one. Eric, so for a newbie, when doing safe swaps, what should we watch out for safe swaps? Example, how to select people to do swaps, who to trust, what criteria, etc. Um, on safe swaps, one of the things, and we kind of went over this a little bit in the previous webinar, but one of the things that you want to look out for is reliability. Okay, so as an example, if you look at my profile here, I have what they call a Hall of Famer um, profile, which means that I have 100% reliability, I have 100% rating, and 100% rating on swaps, 100% rating on solos. Okay, I have no bad reports. Okay, so if you can find, as an example, if you can find other members in here that have a profile like this, those are the ones you definitely want to go to first. Okay, now if they have a yellow or a red, especially a red, the red you want to stay away from. Red means, you know, they're not reliable, they're not pretty serious about their business, and they may have done some things that weren't, up to par there. Okay, I don't want to, because I don't always know the situation. Okay, um, now there's some people that might have a thumbs down, but that doesn't always mean that they're bad solo sellers or bad people to swap with. They might have just, had somebody on there that just, maybe they forgot to send out something for them, and the person gave them a bad report. So so it's just long as they don't have a lot of them. Okay, so you want to go through and you want to look for the thumbs up, um, and the reliability of these people as well. Okay, list size. I've seen people on here with huge monster lists. 200,000, and you do a solo with them, and the solos aren't good. Okay, so you can't always go by list size. I mean, I just updated my list on here. I had my list at like 3,500 for the longest, and I got a lot of people to buy from me. So you can't always go by list size. What you really got to look at is the reliability, the ratings on the person, and then also you want to look at, let's go over here. Give me one sec here. There's another thing that you want to look at that's huge. You also see, like this person here, they have like 8 of them. You know what I mean? That's something you might want to look out for. That doesn't. This is somebody I wouldn't buy from. You know, they got like 8 thumbs down. You know, maybe one, but they start getting a lot of them. You know what I mean? See, I mean, this guy's done 342. He's got one bad report. You know, even 3. You know, not so bad. Okay. So here's my profile here. This is another thing that you really want to look at. My computer's running a little bit slow here, folks, so bear with me. You also want to look at their testimonials. Okay? You want to go through and just kind of look at those and see what people are saying as far as the swaps go. Same thing as a solo seller. So you want to check them out. Those are the things that you want to check out. What are people saying? You know, do they over deliver? Do they deliver on time? Do they have good communication? You know what I mean? So you can go through and just check them out. So testimonials, their ratings, and you also want to look at their reliability. And that's pretty much it. That's why I like safe swaps, because at least you can kind of get an idea of what this person's list is like and what they're doing. You know, in other places, Skype rooms, warrior forums, you know, sometimes you can't really, you know, people can put, you know, fake testimonials up there. They can do all kinds of stuff. At least here you got 3 different ways to check them out. Okay? And also, this may be a 4th way, because, you know, you can see if they have any forum posts. I didn't do a lot of forum posts because, like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time here. You got guys that spend time, you know, they're on here all day and they do a lot of selling on here constantly. I wanted to make some sales, do some swaps initially, make some sales on them, build up my reputation, and build my business from there. Have some people come to me, and you know that was my game plan. But you know the sky's the limit on here. You can probably do, you know, $3, $4, $5,000 a month if you spend a ton of time on safe swaps. You know, once you get your solo business really going. All right, let's see here. One last question, and we're going to end this for tonight, folks. See if we have anything here. Oh, I missed this one. This is from Daniel here. What's your opinion on experience? All right, we got, okay, this is it, guys. We got the last 2 here. We'll answer these last 2 here from Daniel and Rick, and then we'll kind of end this thing for tonight. Okay, Daniel first. Okay, Eric, based on your experience in AdSwap, which is better, using my own email swipe to send to my list, or using AdSwap partners email swap to send to my list? I've done it both ways. When I was first starting out, I used to use my partner's email swipe, and I just found that majority of the email swipe that people have on Safe Swaps. Remember, there's a lot of newbies on Safe Swap. Um, it just doesn't pull well for your list, so you have to wind up sending out twice, to deliver, or maybe 3 emails sometimes if you use a lot of the swipe from your partners. So I've found if you use your own swipe, their swipe that's been provided, from LPP, which is really good, and other swipe that you can get out there on the net, and just swipe that you see come through in the email, some things that capture your attention and that you think is good and you can use it. So I always use my swipe because I know what's going to pull on my list, and remember, it's about trying to maximize your list off of every single email. So you don't want to have to send out 2 and 3 emails to deliver, 50 or 100 or however many clicks, because you got bad swipe. You need swipe that's going to get people to open, number one, and get people to click. So use your own swipe is my advice, Daniel. All right, Rick. Eric, what's your opinion? Experience with buying leads, subscribers via GetResponse. They offer guaranteed leads at a certain rate. Are these good? I've done that as well. I have purchased leads from GetResponse before. It's just the quality of it. I just don't think the quality's really there. One of the things you want to focus on, you want quantity in your list, but you also want quality, because you want your buyers to get sales, because if they get sales off of your list, guess what? They're coming back. I got one guy right now, he's probably purchased like 10 solos off of me in the last month. And he's like, man, I love your list because I get sales, because I try to focus on quality as well as quantity. Okay? And I just think that GetResponse and a lot of those leads are just not the best. So that's kind of my opinion on that. I would focus more on the and I think you're just kind of starting out, Rick. So I would focus on finding good solo sellers. That would be the route, for you at this point. I know it sounds good, and they got good marketing on it. Yeah, we'll put 5,000 leads, but all leads are not created equal, and you don't want to just sell clicks. You want to have a good list where people get sales as well. Of course, we don't guarantee that they get sales, but if they get sales, that's a bonus, and guess what? They're going to come back and see you again, and that's what you want. You want to create, and what we're creating here is an asset that's going to last us for a long time, right? We don't want to just be in this mode of we're just making some quick money, because that being the case, then you might be out of business pretty fast with that mindset. Always keep the mindset of we're building an asset that's going to generate income for a long period of time, or for as long as I want to do it. You know what I mean? So, all right, folks, I think that's about it. We went about 10 minutes over. Not a big deal. You guys have been great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you guys for stopping by tonight. Definitely appreciate it. I'll get this rendered. Get the link over to Dagan, and he'll post it. So if you want to review it again, you can. I appreciate you guys on this first run of webinars that we've been able to do over the last few weeks here. Thank you for your patience. I know early on we had some issues with the technical aspect of it, so we got that worked out, and hopefully you guys been able to get some value out of some of these webinars, and we'll continue to do some more in the future. So thank each and every one of you guys. Take this advice tonight and start to implement it. You don't have to be perfect at this stuff. Just get the basics down. And if you're at the level where you just need to do ad swaps right now, just do those. If you've kind of graduated past that point and maybe you're at 100 clicks, you know, start to sell solos. Don't just sell 100 clicks and don't generate new leads on a daily basis. That's going to be the death of your business because you're not going to be able to deliver. Your list is going to start to get worn out and you're going to start to have problems. Okay? Generate leads and sell. Okay? Once you get to that point. If you're not at that point, just do your swaps and just keep doing them. Each and every day, and then add in some solos. Buy some solos. Okay? All right, so you guys have a great evening, and we'll talk on the next webinar. Good night, folks.